Thank you for joining me today. I'm Joel, and today we're going to be learning the D chord and the A chord. Last time we went over some guitar basics and learned E minor, G, and C, which are pretty common. These are also going to be pretty common chords. The first thing we're going to do is learn a D chord. So it's going to be on the second and third fret. So you're going to put your second finger on the first string, which is the thinnest string. And then you're going to skip the next string. And on the third string, you're going to put your first finger, which is your pointer. And then on the third fret, you will go to the second string and put your third finger. And D is really common. It's in pretty much every song. And here's how it sounds. So strum that a few times, get the feel for it, then take your fingers off of it, strum with nothing, and then go back to a D. Practice going back and forth. That's the most important part of acoustic guitar, is learning how to go from back and forth, to switch from different chords, sometimes fast. Now try an E minor and then a D, back and forth. It's a pretty easy transition. Now let's try G, E minor, and then D in that order. And hopefully this should be getting easier than the first time you tried it. Chords aren't hard to learn, but they're hard to do good unless you practice a lot. The next one we're going to do is an A, which is just about as easy. It's going to be like an E minor, but down on 3 strings instead of 2. It's going to be all on the second fret. It's going to be the second, third, and fourth string, all 3 of those. And the best way to play this is to use 3 fingers. You're going to use your first, second, and third finger. Some people will do it with just 1 or 2. It can be done, but it actually, I think it's a little bit easier if you use all 3 fingers. You just have to be careful not to touch the other strings. Whenever you're playing a chord, make sure you only touch the strings that you need to touch and push them down as hard as you can so it makes a nice clean sound. An A sounds like this. So now that you've learned the A and the D, go back and forth from the A and D a few times. Practice that. If you strum them slowly, they sound a little bit different. There's always different ways to play. Some people play the strings individually, which is a little bit harder, but we won't be doing that today. Now we're going to try a little combination of 4 chords, which a lot of songs use these 4 chords, but we'll just practice switching back and forth. And this seems like to be one of the easier combinations of switching. So we'll go from a G to an E minor to a C and then a D. And go slow at first if you can't do them all at once. But whenever you play it faster, it sounds a little bit like this. Practice that a few times. You get the hang for it, and it goes slow, and then play each one individually to make sure you're hitting all the right strings. That way you're not muffling them. It's really easy to muffle a lot of the strings if you're trying to switch too fast or if you don't have good playing style. And you can also practice some different strumming patterns. Rather than going all down with the guitar pick, you can go down and then up, or a combination of down and up to get a different sound effect. It makes a different sound for each song, and some are written a particular way. Hopefully you learn a little bit with these two chords, and you can practice some new songs. There's lots of combinations of songs that can be made with the chords that you've learned so far, and you can go online and find a lot of the tab websites. They'll just show you what chords they are, and you can play along, and it sounds virtually just like the real song if you're good enough and you make sure you're hitting all the notes. So that will be all for today. Next time we'll have some more stuff for you to learn. Thanks for joining.